Welcome everyone, Anthony here, and this is a quick little live update. Just kind of messing around with the streaming stuff. But yeah, so we got some news, just real quick, a little update, some stuff's been going on the past few days regarding Resident Evil. And the first thing that we heard uh, that pretty much was in the same realm of the Resident Evil 2 remake. Obviously, it wasn't announced at E3, so a lot of people are bummed about that, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Considering that it's definitely going to be a little bit until we see it, I'd say, Tokyo Game Show, if anything. But that's what we're guessing. What's going on? Where's Wesker? No, I did not draw this. This is the original artist, concept art of Claire. But, it's cool something to put up. But it's relevant because the first thing we're going to get into, and like I said, this won't be too long before I got to go to work, but Alyson Court will not be returning as Claire Redfield. She posted 2 videos on her personal Facebook page or YouTube page rather, and that she was pretty much saying that all the studios reached out to her, and everything like that, and she was down to do it, but it was the whole non-union based thing. That's a big deal for actors, the union. So they didn't want someone who is union based, and that's kind of what ended up happening. They said that they were going to go in a different. What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Thanks for coming in. But yeah, so essentially that was kind of what happened, and people are very upset about this. They want to see Alyson Court, they want to see Claire back, but it apparently is in a state where there's not much you can do. Now, she posted a follow-up video after the response from all the fans, and all your voices were heard, and she listens to her fans a lot, which is why she's an awesome person. She's great with really listening, and that's why she thought Capcom was listening, because they wanted to do the remake. What's going on, Resident Evil? They wanted to do the remake, and, for the fans, and they didn't get Alyson Court back. So even though they reached out to her, but then they ended up going in a different direction. So when she replied with the video, she said she doesn't understand why, and there's even a petition that's going up, and people are signing it and seeing it every day, and that's kind of what ended up going on with the whole Alyson Court thing. So I watched the video as soon as it came out, and I was very, it was cool to see a direct message from her. It wasn't kind of like a publicist kind of statement or anything like that. It wasn't some kind of weird, bogus kind of deal. It was her saying, "Hey, look, this happened, and it's out of my control. I wanted to come back, and I really wanted to do the remake." And she didn't end up doing that because, again, restrictions between the whole union-based thing. So a lot of people aren't happy about this. I think that if they wanted to really capture the essence of those games, or of Resident Evil 2 specifically, you have to get Alyson Court back. Are they going to change Leon too? I mean, if they don't really care about doing everything kind of the same. I mean, obviously, remake had to have different voice actors at that point to make it more serious. But if you're not going to get someone like her, who she is kind of in there to you know to make the fans happy, and to also kind of have some kind of stance on it. And it's definitely, it sucks, and she wants to be able to make the fans happy, and she wants to actually have her voice as Claire, and everyone does, because that's kind of a big deal, and everyone else wants to see this game be the best that it can be. In fact, it's taking a long time to even be announced, let alone trying to get ready, And yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things where you really don't know what's going on behind the scenes as far as Capcom is concerned. She told us everything she knows, and we know everything that we know. The main thing with Resident Evil 2 is, because we're still on this topic, is of course video was dropped right before E3, because she said before you hear any other news, like just saying I'm not going to be Claire. And she wanted to, she obviously wanted to let the fans know before that happened, because if someone sees like a remake thing and it's not her voice, it's like, oh, okay. So she at least wanted to let the fans know. There was another article that dropped, moving on to, and yeah, I agree. She does need to be Claire. Like, I really think that she is Claire Redfield, and it needs to be kind of addressed, but it's not going to be, because I think Capcom's just moving on. If they don't even have a voice actor yet, then like how far in development is this thing? Or if they do, they're just, they just cast her aside. But leading to this news story, which is brand new, this is kind of breaking, just announced today. An unannounced Resident Evil is in production, or in development rather, because during an interview, it was on Capcom's Japanese website. The same director of Resident Evil Revelations 2, Yashiro Ampo, and then you have the Kashi Nakanishi. They revealed that a Resident Evil title is in development, something worthy praise, they said. I can't, and then they said, Ampo spoke about it, and he said, in quotes, "I can't announce anything yet, but as of now, I've been developing a certain product. Please look forward to it." So very vague, very kind of vague of stuff that he's, and I agree, where's Wesker? It is starting to scare a lot of people. I mean, hopefully they do the right thing. There's a lot of questionable things, but apparently, I don't know. I mean, they said that Nakanishi said that when talking about Resident Evil 7, he said it managed to make it easier to develop and initiate other elements of Resident Evil. And, of course, a Revelations 3 is definitely on the horizon. Why wouldn't they? I feel like if you want to play Resident Evil like from behind the back and some kind of action elements, you can always go to the Revelation series, because that's going to have that old, concept of it. But yes, so we know that this is going on. They're like dodging the announcement. They're very, I don't know, Tokyo Game Show is in September. People said that that's when it'll possibly be shown, because Resident Evil 2 isn't, that big or as big to be shown at something like E3. It was supposed to be, but it wasn't. So who knows what the hell happened? Even if it wasn't, I think they're just trying to wait until they're completely ready. So if they cut a trailer by September and they do kind of do their own thing, I don't know what's going to happen. Are we going to see a trailer with different voice actors? Do they already have voice actors planned? Is there like a planned thing that's going on here? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I think that if they're going to make it a good Resident Evil, they have to really capture what was great about Resident Evil 2. And, it's not like they still can't do that. But, that would be amazing if we had Alyson's voice and, we had everybody that could possibly be on board to be on board. I don't know. It seems that the schedule of this game, if I were to say, it would be January of next year if they really wanted to make it 20 years. But at this point, I can even see them not even saying January. They could say spring, they could say summer, they could say next fall. I feel like that's not even. It would make sense to do it the 20 years, but I feel like that's not even on their radar. doing things that are already kind of off, already. So I feel like if you're gonna, have these things that people want, yeah, bad feeling. So a lot of people in the chat right now are saying they have a bad feeling of the Resident Evil 2 remake. I mean, yeah, how do you guys really feel about that? Do you think it's possibly gonna fracture what we want out of a remake and all the potential? Do you feel like they're waiting too long to announce it? Do you feel like it needs a little bit more? I don't know. I mean, if they could have at least had some kind of teaser. Final Fantasy VII did it, with their remake. There wasn't any actual voice acting. They just kind of showed different shots and stuff. So that shouldn't be a reason why they're doing it. Resident Fantasy said, "Will the voice actor that played Claire in Revelations 2 come back?" That could be possible because number one, there's no union involved in that probably, and they already have her, so it's cheap. They don't have to, and it's not like Alyson Court was asking for a lot of money. I'm sure because she was down to do it no matter what. I feel like she would have done it no matter what the pay, just because she loves the fans, and she knows how big Resident Evil 2 is right now, like, and how it's grown. It's not just like how it was back in the day. It's even bigger now on a broader spectrum. Um, and yeah, we all want it to be like Resident Evil Remake, the first one. Um, some people were saying James Starkweather said it'll be lackluster. It could be like it could. Um, Boris Wesker said one of the things that scares me about Resident Evil 2 Remake is the visual of the characters, and I want Claire's outfit with the jean shorts. Yeah, well, I feel like they're not going to stray too far from the outfits. I think if they tampered with that, that would kind of be awful. But I hope that as a whole, the game is still okay and it's still manageable. I don't think all hope is gone, but I do think that it's going to be it's going to be hard to convince people. They're going to really have to wow everybody in the visual effects in the game itself. Overall, as a developer, you have to really see what the fans loved about Resident Evil 2. One of them being Alyson Court. Yeah, and Alyson Court is Claire, and that's it. But I mean, it's well, the thing is that it is Claire. She is Claire for Resident Evil 2. That's who it is. Like I said, with Resident Evil 1, it's not like they could have just got the same actors because actors didn't even want their full names in the fucking game. But now they're when you're doing a remake, and if you can get anybody that was originally involved in it, no matter who it is, even if it's Leon's voice, you do it. But again, it goes beyond just doing that for the fans. It's a union thing. It's a money thing. Who knows what Capcom is really thinking at the end of the day? I mean, I really think that there's going to be some kind of division. I mean, there's already a lot of division with Resident Evil 7, so I guess we'll see. And yes, Evil Within 2 is coming out. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'll probably end up streaming that. Yeah, that's true. Let's not think of too many possibilities. But as the news broke today, they said something else is in development. So it could be Resident Evil 2 remake. We know it's in development, obviously, but this news could have been Resident Evil Revelations as well. But I feel like it's more on par of talking about the remake because they know people want it. I'm sure they definitely have seen the backlash of people not seeing it at E3 and it being a big deal. Next Gen Resident Evil, what's going on, man? Looks like you changed your name back. That's cool. Yeah, so there's a lot of speculation. The guy, yeah, I think the guy who did Leon's voice. Well, I don't know if he did die. I know the guy in who did the commercial that George A. Romero directed. He died. Or something like that happened. Yeah, because his name is Paul Haddad, and let's see if he's alive or dead. Actually, say right now. No, he's not dead. He's alive and well. He's 54. So he's still alive. And he's tweeting. You know, he's currently like tweeted like a few hours ago. So he's still doing stuff. Um so they could get him, but again, they they probably like won't get him at this point. They'll probably just get a new cast. Do you think Shinji will make it perfect? I mean, Shinji did a great job with Evil Within. If you're referencing Evil Within, yeah, I mean, Evil Within 1 was a solid game. I played through it on hard mode on the PC. I streamed it, or not streamed it, but I did a let's play of it on this channel. And then I played through it again on I think it was the PS4 version, or I bought it on Steam again and I beat it again. Um, Evil Within was a solid game. So it's up Darkness. Uh, so hopefully, they kind of get together and they have some kind of ideas of what they're doing with the remake. Uh, Fuck the R-rated movie. It has a huge plot hole. Well, yeah. At this point, plot holes are not they're not very prominent with being consistent. Um, but I'm looking forward to seeing Vendetta. Monday. That's gonna be cool. Um, yes, Chris did look weird, but they always change these characters. They just always do. And what's going on, Miss Luxury? Um, Go Veronica remake would be cool. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the whole remake thing definitely could happen. But I think the first thing that needs to happen is two, and then possibly three. But I mean, I don't think they're gonna do three. I mean, I would like it. I would like to see it. You know, but I think they're gonna try to focus on the series going forward. This is something that most fans want to see. A lot of people do want to see three, but of course, that's not really like two is something where that's something you know that's gonna be first. That comes first. I want Lisa Trevor add stuff in RE2 remake. That's gonna be great back there. Um, yeah, they should do all the stuff like that. That'd be great. If they had all the additional stuff, and maybe we could see some more stuff behind Chief Irons and maybe the Birkin Lab, or play as Sherry a little bit more, and combine scenarios together, different stuff that you wouldn't do in the one scenario. Now you could do it in both. Yeah, Sorry 3 does need a remake. What theater am I going to? I'm going to it's an AMC, I think, in Summerdale, I think, over here. It's one of the theaters. I don't even know what the hell it's called, but yeah, I got tickets already, and we're going to be doing a podcast on that. So that'll be cool. So look forward to that. That's going to be really fun. Um, you know, yeah, maybe add some Crimson Heads or Resident Evil 2. So the only really thing we got is just the hope that it's going to be good. And then if Resident Evil 2 is good, then that means Resident Evil 3 would be great. Um, so hopefully we get some kind of update soon as far as a trailer, as far as who's voicing these people. Um, I'm definitely going to try to reach out to Alyson Court's agent and see if we can. I've been trying to get her on. I've been in contact with the agent, and she has been busy, but maybe she would like to come on now with the recent news and everything like that. Um, that would be, that'd be cool. Oh, you're going to the same one. Nice. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't know if it's an AMC, but yeah, if I see you, I'll say what's up. Because I got one of the assigned seats. So, because that specific theater, you gotta select your seats. So that's the closest one to me. So I'll be with John. Um, we'll be with a couple friends. So it'll be fun. Um, oh yeah, well, Resident Evil fans, yeah, the Resident Evil has made people a lot of people have become fans of zombie stuff because of Resident Evil, and also such as myself, and obviously Giorgio Romero plays a big part in that because I watched a lot of movies, so that's always a great thing. You didn't miss anything, tipster. Just kind of popping in, I'm about to leave in a little bit, you can watch the archive. We just kind of discussed some of the recent news. No, we didn't miss everything. I mean, well, you kind of did, but you didn't miss a lot of stuff. I mean, you already know about Alyson Court. You already know about, uh, well, the newer news is they announced that something else is in development, and it's something of, you know, of it's pretty much high regard. It's in high regard. At this is pretty much what they were saying. So it can only mean one thing, and that is that they're just still teasing the RE2 remake. So that's kind of the only thing that's new that dropped. If Alyson Court makes another video, I'll be sure to be on the lookout for that, and we'll bring that up. We're still doing our Resident Evil. Yeah, that's what I mentioned. Yeah, I mentioned that what they said, and in quotes they said, "I can't announce anything yet. As of now, I've been developing a certain project. Please look forward to it. Something worthy praise," they said. I don't even know if that's proper. I mean, it's probably a bad Japanese translation, but something worthy praise. I think they mean something worthy of praise. Meaning it's Resident Evil 2. It's got to be. So that's like the newest of news that just happened today. So that kind of makes sense that they're doing that. And I guess we'll just see from there. What do you guys think of all of this stuff? I can't put links in the chat because it'll stop me. But if you just if you literally just type in unannounced Resident Evil project, it's on relyonhorror.com. If you go on rely RELY on horror.com, and then it was taken from their Japanese website. Yeah, it's on their Japanese website. The actual source is on the Japanese Capcom website. If you have Google Translate, if you're using Google Chrome, you could do that. It is on Facebook. Yeah, so it's just coming out. This is kind of news that we're just getting now. But it's too much of a coincidence, the fact that they're announcing this now when the demand so high for a remake and nobody saw it at E3, and they're trying to reassure people. But again, there's a lot of people that aren't reassured because they don't want to, Untitled Resident Evil project it's called. So who knows? It could be Revelations 3. I mean, but honestly, like, does that have a lot of praise? I mean, like, does that really have that many people? I'm sure people want it. I'll play Revelations, 3, of course. I liked Revelations 2. I thought it was a pretty solid game. But, come on. What else could they be talking about at this point, So, I guess we'll, on Instagram. So this shit's everywhere. But anyway, that's it. So I just wanted to wrap it up. Just wanted to come by for like a half hour or so and just talk about all the stuff. There's got to be a collector's edition. That'd be cool. So if it is Revelations 3, then it's Revelations 3. But, who knows? At this point, we'll just kind of see. The main thing I also wanted to talk about here as well is, the Alyson Court thing, because that was a big thing that happened. Revelations 3 with zombies. Yes, that would be cool. Depressed and stressed about. Don't be depressed. Don't be stressed. Just make sure all the news you hear is official and solid, and make sure us fans don't get let on. We'll try to filter in all the news that's actual official stuff here. That's why I'm just calling this a news update, not, Resident Evil 2 announced. Resident Evil 2 coming out in a month and next year. So hopefully we get, stress-free stuff, and this one actually comes out pretty well. So thanks for the quick news update, guys. If you're listening to this on iTunes as well, you can download it. Download that stuff. Let's Talk Resident Evil on iTunes, and also Libsyn, facebook.com/Let's Talk Resident Evil. Thank you for all the support. Check out the last podcast we did talking about the Resident Evil reboot announcement, the film news. We're gonna be doing a Resident Evil Vendetta podcast. So we're gonna review it. We're gonna talk about it spoiler free, and then we're gonna have a spoiler section kind of tacked on at the end there. So that's gonna be really fun. So thank you so much for that. And you can also catch me every Wednesday night on the Game Complainers, youtube.com/Game Complainers, another podcast I do talking about games with Perry. And I'm currently working on the Eternal Darkness stuff. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the new podcast. Check it out on iTunes. Download it. Support the show. Let us know what you think. and I'm hoping to hear from everyone soon. Bye, guys.